Morning, artist in recovery slash Daryl. And it's the Weaver John C. of Roseman, California, on the West Coast. 2:33 in the morning, West Coast time. It's the 12th of January, 2024. Finally caught the video that you had about Jelly Roll and when he was talking about the fentanyl. It's one thing you keep talking about the word, but you're not talking about more than that. You got to dig deeper into that. You keep forgetting about the fourth step. You've been in recovery, but you know that you can keep talking about the addiction to the drugs, and believe me, once it fries out your pleasure center, your brain doesn't know any better. Even dealing with pure grain alcohol going into your bloodstream, hitting that brain, it fries out the pleasure center, and it wants more. It's stuck on automatic. But it's more than that, just the physical, dude. It's the mental, it's also the spiritual. It's the pathway that we got into the situation in the first place. How and why did we become addicts and alcoholics? Some of us are thoroughly convinced, I think I'm part of the group anyway, that we have this genetic disposition. All right, we have this genetic disposition in our lives, in our family lines, that we got this damn disease screwing us over one way or another. It's it becomes more like a physical malady. It's a spiritual malady as well. So whatever kind of lifestyle that we had at home, something triggered it. I equate it with the story of the Prometheus Man by Mary Shelley. You ever heard of Frankenstein? Come on, do the math on this one. See, it takes something that starts the process. I could talk about my brother's recovery because he's not here, but I use it as an example. But as for my recovery, shit, I was already screwed up as a kid anyway. They were more concerned about my medical issues than they were concerned about my psyche. And I would have more issues of going into being an alcoholic because I wanted to hide from everything, and I did. And alcohol was a way to hide things. But I can also tell you that when you're an alcoholic like minded, you're teetering on self destruction. That's a different thing altogether. Being chemical, there are different things about how this disease works. And I had to admit to myself that I am totally and thoroughly screwed up. That's why back in October 10th, 2006, I went into the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. The mother of all programs to get me started on this shit because I had seen my brother go through hell and recovery. And he already had years of recovery. It was my turn to get into the program. And I had to be honest with people that disease still runs in my family. But it was also ruining my life as well. I didn't want anything what you guys had in recovery. Leave me the hell alone. That was the attitude. They could already tell in a damn meeting hall that I was trouble. Didn't realize it. I didn't realize that I had it. I was emanating it. They knew. They saw. They tried to swarm me sometimes. There had been one particular meeting hall my brother and I had been to a hell of a lot of times. I just didn't want to deal with them. And this is the meanest, toughest biker gang I've ever seen. And they were all for recovery. You ever heard of the Nest? You probably hadn't. Anybody else in Alcoholics Anonymous on the West Coast knew about the Nest. It was the hardest core of recovery addicts and alcoholics that you've ever seen. And they've been through a lot. And one of them kept trying to get to me to understand what was going on. I didn't want to have anything to deal with the guy or anything at the program. It was bad enough seeing my brother go through this shit. And I was glad I got my brother back, but I didn't understand that I was going through the same damn shit. But it came close to having blows with this one particular biker because I didn't want to deal with him. I didn't want to deal with any of it. I was angry enough sometimes. Ma kept telling me to go out with my brother. Not to have fun, and we would have fun, but no, go to the meetings. And I would sit and read a book because I didn't want to deal with it. I want to hide from you guys. I wanted to hide from recovery. I wanted to hide from everything. Leave me alone. I'm miserable enough right now as it is. Why do I need to deal with you happy, slappy jokers over here? I couldn't feel comfortable with you guys. I felt like there was this itch around me. And I felt like you guys were all out of your damn minds. It didn't matter which particular meeting hall I went into. My brother kept associating with a few other meeting halls and became members of them. And some of the meeting halls out there were turning into political crap. They're more concerned about the politics than they were about recovery or about attraction, not promotion. But me, I didn't want to have anything to deal with you guys. Leave me alone. I had this isolation. I had this force field. I had this wall. I had this attitude. You leave me the hell alone. I'm already miserable enough as it is. Why do I need this God crap in the first place? And see, that was the thing. That was part of it right there. I couldn't get into the religion. If you guys already studied my videos at this point over here, you knew that I already been dead before, and I couldn't even deal with religion in the first place growing up as a kid. God saved my ass 3 times on an operating table. I should have been grateful for that one. No, I had this antagonistical relationship that I had with a power greater than myself that I was totally scared shitless of. I was scared. How do you deal with the power greater than yourselves to restore you to a level of sanity? You don't even know what the hell a level of sanity is, but you know what the level of anger and frustration and rage. You understood how being disgusted left and right is. I read books into places to hide. I didn't want to deal with me. I didn't want to deal with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I was Hyde. You leave me alone. Just get the hell away from me. Keep your damn books and keep your damn stuff away from me. It's all crap. Do you understand that? Here's the real me coming out, and I don't want to have anything to deal with recovery. Who the hell you think you guys are coming over to me trying to make nice conversations, and here you are looking at me and laughing at me. I'll show you. Just mess with me. Oh, pick on the biggest, baddest biker if I could. Who was in recovery, and I didn't care. I'd insult the crap out of him. I came damn close to blows with the guy because I didn't care. My big brother would protect me, wouldn't he? Yes, he would. But I had this asshole coming on me trying to talk to me about recovery as possible and talking about a power greater myself could restore me to a sense of sanity. There was no sanity. There was just me, Mr. Hyde. Are you kidding me? Yeah, the face of him. That guy would come at every so often, dude. It scared the shit out of me sometimes. Ma was more worried about me. She already see how established my brother was in the program. My brother, oh God, there's stories about this one. I think I put on videos on this shit, but boil it down. He was already an alcoholic and making stuff for Ma, drinking stuff and making sure it was right for her when she came home. And he was only a kid. So he already been having the taste of alcohol. Me, I was a hider. I hid from things because I'm dealing with physical ailments. I'm dealing with mental ailments, and who the hell's focusing on me? Me. David goes into the military, gets screwed over, gets screwed up, learns how to turn a boiler into a still. Makes tidy profit in there too, he tells me. He told me a long time ago. But he had situations happening with fellow soldiers that damn near killed him in there. And he comes out screwed up. He was afraid of everybody, including the damn COs. They wouldn't even help him out for anything. That shit happens at home where he couldn't even get any time off because he was stuck in the break because he was fighting on some occasions. He couldn't go to Aunt May's funeral. He couldn't even take care of things at home with grandma. So he decides to pack up his shit and leave. About a year and a half until he gets called up by his uncle from San Diego visiting Ma, who was taking care of our grandmother who was suffering from a stroke, bedridden. Here I'm a teenager watching all this damn shit. And it was bad enough during those days that when David was home, he was also dealing. But not, he wasn't dealing. He was using a dealer. We knew. If you knew your dealer and he was all right, then there wasn't a problem, was there? No. Here's a problem. You get a call from the dealer. You go over to your brother's door, knock on the door, and you see this gun with a barrel sticking in your face. And I'm not talking about just a no. I'm talking about an automatic at those days with a hair trigger. Dave, your dealer's on the phone. All right, I'll be right there. I saw the damn gun there when I closed the damn door. Could have blew my head off. Didn't. A few years later, that dealer and a sister of his, and they were kin to a friend of mine, had died in a car accident. Had not head on. Had died in a van. They couldn't get out. An innocent and a dealer. You talk about tragedy for a friend of mine. It really turned over. I mean, he really went out. And my brother, he did his time in the Navy. He also did what he did. He came out and he was still screwed up. He was still an alcoholic, drug addict. We would score. Take the family money and score. And lie like crazy. Ma and I were getting sick and tired of it because I had to walk my brother through this damn shit. I had to protect my brother from all this damn crap going on. Drive-through drug. We knew the places on San Fernando. At least back then. These days, I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. Things have changed so much. I really wouldn't know. The faces have changed all the time. As long as we handed the money out the door, we got our drugs. Who cares? I didn't use. I was too damn afraid of my brother. I wanted to live, but I was also afraid of my mother and of the cops. How did you like living in a time of fear during those days? I should have been a self-destructive son of a bitch, but I had to keep it all to myself. And I had a friend of mine who I was talking about, who was also a dealer, but when couldn't score, my brother had to score other places. Hence the road trips when we did our shopping trip. Got to the point I'm seeing him outside in one particular place we're living in. And he's smoking it up a storm. And I can't stand this shit. I couldn't stand the fucking drugs. I couldn't stand what it was doing to him. It got to the point me and my mom kicked his ass out. I didn't realize somewhere inside of me the addiction was still going. It depended on which particular addiction we were talking about. Now, see, for some people, it was the chemical. And me, it was the chemical, trying to get the pleasure systems going on in my head. Only I like lights and sirens. No, actually, I like lights and explosions on a computer screen. You don't think it's, you gotta try getting into the damn shit when you're younger, dude. I stole money out of my mother's purse. $500 of Susan B. Anthony's. I thought they were quarters. Ma and I really had a field on this one. Oh, God, she couldn't trust her boys for anything. And she was wondering how come her boys were self-destructing. Hell, she even got to the point where she was overeating like crazy. She had to go to Overeaters Anonymous. She was the first one in our family who went over to the 12-step. And then got us both in, one way or another. talking about the addiction, you got to talk about when it starts. It starts about when you have something either normal or somewhat normal when it actually wasn't normal in the first place. You talk about we got to treat the addiction of the guys inflamed, but you got to go deeper than that. You got to go deeper than that. You got to talk about the recovery worse than that. How things started up as normal and then become so screwed up, you're not even realizing what the hell's going on, dude. I didn't know. Nobody knew. Who knew? Our family was ignorant of the damn 12-step program. Our family was ignorant of alcohol, but we had the alcohol and drug abuse going in the family. We had one uncle who blew his face off with a shotgun. We had another uncle who smoked himself to death and blew out his lungs. We had an aunt killed herself from alcohol, courtesy of an enabler, and he dies from cancer. I've had the damn disease take out people I cared about. It damn near destroyed my brother. It was one thing I sent him outside. Me and my mom just threw his ass out. My brother comes back as a skeleton, but he was still living. And he had to tell himself he was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And during those days, mom was going through the recovery stage herself. Her way of coping was overeating like crazy. Candy bars were her fix. I was denied video games. Otherwise, I'd be playing those damn things more. No, I had to focus on school. I had to focus on everything else. See, one thing we know about addiction is it likes to stall sometimes. Waits its turn before it can strike again, one way or another. It's patient. It's a patient bastard. Going into the program, I'd seen how people, and I heard people, going in and out of the programs, constantly getting the 30-day chip. They're going on the turnstile. I thought it was bullshit. They kept talking about a higher power. They kept talking about God. They kept talking about doing a serenity prayer. Yeah, I did a serenity prayer. Back then, it didn't do shit. And I kept looking at this God character like, what the fuck are you telling me about? God doesn't exist. God doesn't. He's not here, all right? Who the hell is he to me? Except the guy kept saving my ass. Didn't even realize it. It's a hell of a lot of epiphanies along the way that you get. These little God shocks, dude. On the way to recovery. Being reminded that you are powerless over people, places, things, and events. And the stuff that they keep talking about in Bill's story. They started about things that happen to people. But these little events that happen over here. And I'll tell you one thing. When you stay in the program long enough, you see things that are relating to other things because in my case, I was a reader, dude. I was an avid reader. I'd read books. Wasn't passing school, but I would read books. I used it for hiding, but I also used it for enjoyment. So that was my chemical release right there, because I was in my own little world. I didn't want to get out of freaking reality. You kidding me? My addiction was I wanted to stay in the fantasy world so much I didn't give a shit about reality in the first place. You're gonna talk to me about shit. I'm putting up the hand like this and say, talk to the hand because I don't want to deal with you. But I'm dealing with my own crap. Leave me the hell alone. It took a hell of a lot for Ma and David to drag my ass out of my damn head. And there were no shrinks during that time to put me on a recovery path. Nothing during those days. How long has Alcoholics Anonymous been around? Since the 40s, 50s? You didn't hear about it because it was anonymous. And yet, addiction, the damn disease, takes on many forms, takes on many things that make people deny that it's there. Until it takes your ass out, takes your family out one way or another. Skips a generation if it wants to, but the damn disease is still part of our genetic makeup, not to mention part of our souls. To hide from shit, hide from life, you have to be brutally honest with yourself to see what the hell's going on. I had all the damn traits of an alcoholic, and here's the funny part about this one, dude. I tried talking about this one, and I almost got red lighted by Google and YouTube on this because my descriptions went beyond the community guidelines of what I wanted to say. I already had the damn disease going through my damn life at this point over here, and I see how my brother was recovering. I kept saying I was helping with my brother's recovery. Sometimes I think he was trying to help me with my own damn survival. Brothers trying to look out for each other at this point over here. I didn't understand how God was helping him and not me. I did a prayer. I did a serenity prayers. Why wasn't he helping me? Shit. Christ kept saying somewhere in the New Testament, before you can help out the other asshole, you got to help yourself. A paraphrase is boil it down. You want to take the log out of your brother's eye? Hypocrite, take the log out of your own eye before you can help out your other brother's eye. Help your own damn self before you can help the other schmuck. Want to talk about the addiction? You want to talk about the damn disease? That's what you need to do, not just the addiction beds. You're treating the physical. Now you're dealing with the political crap, but you're not seeing the entire picture at this point. See, back then it was political. It was political display that they were doing regarding the drug shit going on. Oh yeah, Nancy Reagan did her "Don't Say No, Do the Dare" program, drug abuse rehabilitation and education. Just say no. We both knew better because we both seen it, but you've been through the damn shit worse than I had. And not me. I was the hider, but I was a medical case. Who would think I'd be becoming a frickin' nut job? This is going to be a long ass one, so I'm not apologizing for anything at this point. The day came, October 10th, 2006. I had seen my brother go through recovery. I had seen how God worked in his life, but not in mine. I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. I'd pray, but that was about it. But how did I know God was still trying to keep my ass going? And then somehow maneuvered me to a situation where I could get help. I didn't have the chemical addiction as much. I had all the addictions in my head ready to kill me. The decisions ready to be suicidal or worse, homicidal. And back then, I didn't care one damn bit about anybody. You talk about Frankenstein, you talk about Hyde, you're talking about the Gothic characters. Well, hello. I wasn't reading Shelley back then. I was one of the characters combined. I was Prometheus, man, made by something, and didn't understand what, but turned out to be a monster because of miscommunications and misconceptions. I was Hyde, and Hyde didn't care about anybody but himself. I was lucky enough to be Dr. Jekyll at times, but I was even more scary to myself. Look in the mirror, I never recognized myself. I didn't know who the hell I was. You talk about the mental health component at this point over here. Damn, it kills people. Oh yeah, it kills people. The hide kills. That day of days. If I had done as it was, I wanted to happen, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be a obituary right now. I'd be a news article buried somewhere alive. I'd be either in bars with jumpsuits, or I'd be in a grave or ashes. I was heading there, Daryl. I was heading there. My brother would fill in the details with me that sometimes I would forget, and sometimes I don't know quite sure if he was talking about it or not. All I know is I was going to be hitting it for that kind of thing. I was getting set up. I was getting boiled over. I was working in a call center from hell. And the supervisors know what the hell was going on. They'd seen the changes in me worse and worse. They'd seen the anger come out. They'd seen Hyde freak out more. I wasn't the customer service agent anymore. I was Hyde. Even the family felt it. It scared them, I guess. It scared them so damn badly they didn't know who the hell they were dealing with, I guess. I didn't know who the hell I was anymore, I guess. I guess I was really ready during those days. If I had the tools necessary, Daryl, I had been poorly trained, but at least I would have put myself into the papers, and not positive either. Hyde would have wanted that. And then I would have to deal with God. But I didn't know God. I didn't know. I knew of, but I didn't know. I didn't know about the higher power. I knew of. I read the books that David had left. I'd read one ear out the other ear. Or one eyeball out the other eyeball, anyway. That's the terrifying thing I have to keep understanding, dude. I was there. And I didn't care if I fell in or not. I didn't care if I was there to be pissed or not. I was going to fall in and didn't care, apparently. And but the tools weren't there. Attitude, yeah. I didn't care anymore. If I had the tools, I was there. I was Hyde. It was going to happen. I had security escort me down to HR. We had a nice little shout out. Me shouting at them. I went back up to my desk, packed shit up, got escorted again by security, and they were going to lay me off. Actually, fire my ass. Oh, Hyde went off again. I left the job, and I was right in the middle of a sidewalk when I wanted to feel like I wanted to run right into the traffic and kill myself. Let's be honest about this one here, dude. I was a self-destructive, sorry son of a bitch at the time. Narcissistic, egotistical megalomania. I was the guy who didn't give a shit about you or about anybody else. Oh, I do the pretense, but that was about it, but not the reality of it. And just before I was thinking about doing the action. I was just getting myself to that point. There was a thought in my head that said, call home. Granted, I'm about 100 miles away from home, literally. I busted in from the Antelope Valley over to the San Fernando Valley. Seemed like 100 miles anyway. Took David under an hour just to get from there to me. He knew. He knew. I'm going off like a crazy man on the damn phone talking to a reporter. They're hanging up on me. Hyde was out just trying to drum shit out. I was too damn ashamed and afraid of what the fuck I did. I wanted to kill myself still. But the orders were given. Go to a place, caddy corner, from me a job, stay there, wait, drink soda. Wait for my brother. I did. I couldn't face him. By the time I get into the van, here comes the cops. They were going to put me in for 5150. They should have. They should have. But they didn't. Dave talked him out of it. I guess my higher power wanted me to live. All the while we're driving home, I didn't want to raise my eyes towards him. Humiliation, embarrassment, self-realization, what the hell happened. Hyde laughs his ass off in the background, and I'm stuck dealing with the collateral damage of what the hell I've done. I couldn't deal with myself, and I wanted to kill myself in the worst way. I didn't want to hurt my brother. I wanted to hurt me. I wanted to hurt me. I want you to know what the hell I've done. Who I became. Why the hell would somebody want to save my ugly ass? Who the hell am I to them? Why are we doing this? Just let me out, let me get run over and just deal with the eternity of this misery. I don't give a shit. I want to die, damn it. I want to die. I wanted to die in the worst way. The humiliation, the realization, the utter embarrassment. Pride slips away, and all you're left is your naked self, mentally, and on some occasions, maybe physically. Got to talk about how and why and where and things beyond the addiction mood. Dave took me home, and I barely could get out the words when I talked to Ma. I could barely see her and Dave. My head was hung down low. It was hung down low, dude. I couldn't face them. I couldn't face my own family over this damn shit. You kidding me? This was hurting me like crazy. How the hell was I supposed to be able to deal with him and talk to him shit like this? Here's the thing. We moved from the San Fernando Valley back in '05. We couldn't find a place to live. We couldn't find a place cheap enough to live. So we moved out to Antelope Valley. Long stories on those things. But the thing is, while we stayed there for about a year, just getting ourselves acquainted, my brother went to AA halls and haunted them. He was getting connections. He was getting his safety net built up again. The long distance other places we used to go to, he'd be kicking me. I'd be screaming my head up on it. I don't want to go. I'm not going. Johnny, you're going. Yeah. But he made connections. He made connections, dude. I'm still having bug war. Get off my damn computer, you schmuck. Uh, anyway, his connections helped me through the power greater than myself, what I call God. and a few other names that are not so negative either. But it was that night we spent over at Starbucks. And we were talking about the big book. We were talking about the 12 and 12. We're talking about my life. We're talking about everything else I went through. The one thing I hadn't said in the meeting halls to a lot of people, I had all the tendencies of drinking, but if I don't remember taking the drinks, am I still considered an alcoholic? Because I was told by these two friends I was still an alcoholic. It didn't matter what kind of name or label we put on the damn disease. It's still the damn disease. It took a lot of things. It damn near took my life out. It wasn't mental health. It was the damn disease, dude. It's my own Hyde. My own Mr. Hyde. When I went to the meeting again the next night, I identified. The hardest damn thing for me to do in that meeting hall was to admit that I am powerless over this damn disease. I needed help or a power greater than myself that could restore me to a level of sanity. And I still didn't know who or what God was, despite the fact He saved my ass. He had been saving my ass ever since. I may not have had those short, intensive things like I had back in my youth. But this, I say God's in the detail. No, the devil's in the details, but God's in coincidences. There are no coincidences. God has the plan. He's rolling with it. He's telling me what's going on. Yeah, I have been in recovery. Long term, ongoing. Currently dealing with a bug war. Do you mind? Can you get off my damn table? Can you just get. Thank you. Come on. Thank you. Damn bugs. But the thing is, Daryl, if you're talking about addiction, you got to be talking about the whole damn story here. You're talking about beginnings, where it started from. I'm not talking about the ancient history of the damn disease itself that we're suffering through in many forms of the damn shit. I'm talking about how we got introduced to this son of a bitch and how it still influences us until the time we get to the situation where we see Jelly Roll screaming and yelling to the Congress that says they're going to do shit. That's another video right there. We'll do that one. But I had to get my recovery story out to tell you what the hell recovery is. It's realizing every single day that you are powerless over this damn shit. And you have to keep turning over to higher power, because if you don't, you're screwed. Let's put it bluntly. I don't care about the damn advertising dollars at this point over here. I care about talking about my own story and getting it out on record. That's how I do my channel. Jelly Roll is trying to tell what the hell he went through to Congress. Is it going to help? Probably not. But we'll see if they get off their damn lazy asses to do shit. So let's do another video, shall we?